Good evening, everyone. I'm so grateful that you were able to join us tonight. This is a special night. It was a special request, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me tonight. Um, it was asked by a male, a friend of mine, and he asked if we could um, do ceremony for them tonight. And I said, yes, of course. And so here we are tonight. We gathered. We're going to give our that extra energy that we have right now, that extra energy of wellness and well-being, because I know many of you are kind of overwhelmed, and but at this time it's just like take a deep breath. So I'm going to ask you right now is we're going to ground ourselves because I need you to pull in your energy. I need you to pull in your energy. And so with that, we'll start. We're going to do 3 deep breaths. And each time, I just want you to take a deep breath, come up through your nose, and let it go through your body. And so, in this way, we are cleaning house because, this past few days may have been some challenging for you, and sometimes you're just overwhelmed. And this is time to um, get connected to your spirit, to your higher power. And so with that, we'll take those 3 deep breaths. So we'll start with one. Give it sound. Okay. Number two. Two. And now we're ready for the third one. That is a gift that was given to us a long time ago from our ancestors, was to always take those moments to ground themselves. So I hope many of you are feeling light, very relaxed. I've I'm so grateful that I can reach you at your home. I can, as they say, I can come and visit you. I need your help. And it was so powerful that the last couple weeks ago, we were at the conservation site. Oh, before I begin, I will greet each and every one of you. Sego, sewa kwego, ganadisa youngits, wagatsioni, wagonya dehane. I'm very honored and very pleased that we have gathered here tonight. And so I send out blessings to you, to your community, to your family, and to all those that are in need of our prayer, support, guidance, and healing. We ask that at this time that all with the help of the grandmother, all of us that have gathered here tonight will receive that power that our grandmother gives us at each changing of the moon. And so we're going to use this power for the wellness and well-being of the male, the masculine part of who creation. And so at this time we give thanks to Itnistaha Hion Hanzari. And so I will use the language. Ne tino lare ne Itnistaha Hion Hanzari. Ne tino lare ne roso. Ne tino lare John Heko. Ne tino lare Kaisa. Ne tino lare Grunda Sutantana Guerrisa. Ne tino lare Otsit Noasa. Ne tino lare Kanyandiro. Ne tino lare Sigatnigora. Ne tino lare Tisotiratiwara. Ne tino lada kaeli walaki. Ne chita walada ne sonkotsia de kanika lakwa. De tino walada ne onke sota galakwa. De chita walada ne jistagaroni. De chita walada ne sonkoya diso. Wow. I hope you're feeling just like I am. I'm feeling very loved, feeling all the power of Grandmother Moon, but also the power of it being Good Friday. That was a very special time in our relations, um, in their history. And so at this time, it is so powerful that we're doing it today because it is to bring change, and that's what occurred at that time. Because what had happened was to bring new life. Because he, as they say, he died for the people to help them. And so in our way, we have honored him in that way because, you know, traditionally we would honor anyone's way and say thank you. And in this time, many of our people would go on Good Friday and I'm on Easter Sunday. They would go and they would go to the fast flowing waters and they would dip their cup into that water. And so it's so powerful that here it is. We are gathered here together to celebrate and to honor and to think and send off much love to all those. Then yesterday I was at a gathering of community members, and what we had gathered for was for those that are single fathers. Isn't that something? Our prayers have been answered. The grandmothers, we have been sending prayers out to our men that they come back to that fold to hold their children, to be with their children. And so, as I sat there yesterday, I met some of the men that were holding up their as they say their role and their responsibility, but they also have their challenges like the single parenting. But most of all, they need our support. They need our support. And so at this time, it was amazing because this request came in over a month ago, and they asked if the next moon ceremony, if we could gather up all those that are like-minded and pray for the men, pray for the male. And so, and lo and behold, yesterday I was at this gathering and it was talking about the young fathers and all the difficulties they have because we need to acknowledge those fathers that are out there. We need to acknowledge those ones that have taken back their roles and responsibility. And so at this time, I have gathered up our gifts that we were to, our tools to help and support others. And so at this time, I hope you have your fire, and then you have your medicine, and then you have your water, and you have your feathers. And so we will light this fire for all those that are out there, for those that are in need of support and guidance. We will be joined by other grandmothers, but at the present they are tending to their grandchildren. So and another grandmother was taking care, was supporting one of the grandfathers, one of the, and so here we are tonight. I'm not alone. I have all those grandmothers behind me and in front of me. And so these grandmothers are here with us tonight. And so I give greetings and gratitude to all our ancestors that have come and have joined us tonight. Tonight is a very special night because we can share this love for creating a better world. For us to gather before the fire, for us to gather with their water. And this is my moon water. I have gathered it. And prior to today, I have taken that time because I know how powerful this day is. And each day is powerful, but this is a special, powerful day when grandmother is so close. I need her help to help and someone else. And so I went to visit my sister. And so at this time, I took my moon water and I give her some because at this time she is she has pneumonia. And so I went there to help her and to bring back that fire that was needed in her. And I asked all creation and to support. I asked the grandmothers to come in and support another grandmother because this one, those arena grandmothers, well, that's my sister. She's arena grandma. And, it just hurts her to miss her little ones' games. And so I said I would come over and do what I can for her because it makes her sad that she has missed a couple of these games and she wants to get back in the arena again to encourage him. And so I send this prayer to each and every one. So we gathered here today for the gift of Grandmother Moon. This gift is our water. This gift is our tears. I hope this past few days that you were, as they say, you were called to cry. I hope many of you did shed some of that gift, that magic gift, because that tears are very important. And a lot of people have been very emotional because there's a lot of things going on here. And we have that power. Don't ever think that you don't have power. You see, these hands have power. And that's what the Creator, when we were created, the Creator gave us this power. And I'm using my left hand. And this I want to share with you. Whenever you're troubled, and so I'm relaying the message from Grandmother Moon because she wants to help us through our grieving, for she sees many of us as grieving. And she sees that they need to be reminded on how to take care of themselves. And so you're going to use your left hand. You're going to warm it up by putting the left and the right. And you wonder why you do that? It's because you need to bring back the male energy and that female energy, the left and the right. And that's what we're doing right now. We're bringing back that energy because in us we have that. Each of us, no matter what gender we have that duality of male and female. And so this time we're going to express that male component. Why? Because we want to lift them up too with us so that in this way they can become well. And so there are times like this that we are here to support them. And so in this time we're going to use this left hand. This one, why? Because it's closest to our heart. This is the gift that we're going to send out. We're going to send it out into our hand and send it out to creation. For it is to bring P-E-A-C-E. Isn't that marvelous? P-E-A-C-E. So when you want peace, you put it over your heart. Whenever you're grieving, put it over your heart and take those deep breaths to help you with whatever you're going through. So we have it over our heart. Now I have my right hand. Now this is a gift that the Creator that, in relationship, we always have to share. And so I'm going to say that beautiful word, that very essence of life is to share. S-H-A-R-E. Share peace. And so you put your hand over that other hand, over your heart, and this becomes the hand that many of our ancestors it's on top of my hand. It's on top of this hand. And as I breathe, I go, and I visualize all those tears that I have gathered up over this past month, all the sadness and all the trauma that we all hear and see and feel, that my heart will be taken care of. And so in this time, we always need to take care of ourselves before we take care of others. And so I'm asking each of you to take care of yourself right now, to help your heart and heal it so that we can do the work that we need to do. And so we'll take a deep breath and we'll visualize that even the Creator's hand is over top of we feel that warmth, that kindness and goodness. It is flowing through our body because we feel on that peace, and feel your heart. It's becoming stronger and stronger with each breath that you take. It is feeling the love of all creation. It is feeling the love of all that is here and that you cannot see tonight, that are here. And so we give thanks. We ask that At this time, may all the love of creation, may it come and mend this heart, this beautiful gift that was given to us to care for others. And so we take care of ourselves at this moment, and we take that deep breath and we go. And that deep breath, we send it out to all those that are in need of a prayer, support, guidance, and healing. And so now we touch our foreheads, and so we will take care of ourselves. We may remove your glasses too at this time. And so what you're going to do is you're going to just kindly, gently nurture yourself so that you feel all that love coming through you and building up that fire that we need to share. And so we're going to rub our hands again together, and we're going to put it out there to all the men, to my son, to our sons, to our brothers, to our uncles, to our fathers, to our grandfathers, and to all the men, our co-workers, our community members. We're sending out a lot of love. May this love touch your heart. May it clear your mind so that you will think with your heart and that you will shed this tear that is needed to help you to be well. We ask that at this time that every one of us is doing this to our sons, to our fathers, to our brothers, to our nephews, to help them to become, as they say, at peace, because we care. We care for them, and so we send this gift out to them. We we acknowledge them and thank them, and we bring back their purpose in their life. And so we say, we care for you that have been sent here to support us and to share. And so we ask that all of us, we come together with peace. And so I put my hand on all the foreheads. As a grandmother, I have put my hands on all their foreheads. And you, the women that are out there, I want you to put it over your hearts so that we can share this gift together, so that we can help them, so that we can cry for them, because this is what is needed. They cannot open up their tears because they have been taught not to cry, because it's not male. And so we're going to shed our tears for them. We're going to open that gift that may every child, may every male, may everyone feel that love that a grandma has. Feel that love so that they can take care of themselves, so that they can love themselves. We ask that this love they feel, that they can feel from us, and that we will take away that busyness in their minds of worrying. We will take this busyness of trauma from them so that they can stop causing more trauma to themselves and to others. We think of all those that are in leadership, and we ask that you take this deep breath and remember that you came here for a greater purpose, and it was to help and support all, but most of all, to protect the coming faces, to look after all of the people in a good way so that all people are equal. And so we say, we have given you what you needed, and that is the nurturing. We send off our tears, and we send it out. We send it out to all those that need to cry. We send it out to those that haven't cried. And this is what Grandmother Moon is doing for us as women. These tears are a sacred gift, and the men are holding back their sacred gifts. May the men open up. And so I take this feather, and I cross it over their throat to remove that. And so that each of them can feel the connection from their hearts to their minds. So whatever decision they can make will be of peace and to share peace. And so we gathered here for a greater purpose, and that is for our coming faces, those little ones. And so as we take our drink now, we hold it in our hands. Gather your cups, gather your containers of water, and what we're going to do is we're going to hold it. And we're going to put in a lot of love. Put in that love of a newborn child that has come to us for security, for safety, for all those things that we are to give them. And so we put in with love, with gratitude, and healing. And so we use these words to bring forth new energy, new life to all those that are in need. And so I bless this water for all mankind. I have asked the fire, the male component, is to be here with us tonight so that we can celebrate life. And so I give this gift. I give this gift forward to all the men, in this time of creation and for the coming creation. May what we do tonight stops that violence of themselves and of others. And so we ask that everyone that is here tonight send off that gift to our men. Send off and have this time to share that. And so as I drink this, may this water flow through all of them. May this water touch their heart and take and remove the barriers that they have right here. And so that they can feel and know, as they say, that love that needs to come forward. We need to remove that fear of wars. We need to remove those fears of losing their power. Their power is just as strong as when they protect us. And that means helping the land, the air, and the water. How to create it to be healthier for all mankind. We ask the men to do this at this time. And so we take the drink. I took this drink for all the men. I took this drink so that our sons, our fathers, our brothers, our nephews, our uncles, our friends can be well, and so that so that they can not be afraid to share their tears, the sacredness of who they are. So I have asked of my heart, I have asked of my mind to guide us to this way of renewing life, because we are the givers of life. And so we give this gift back to the men. We give this gift from our heart to all those, that are out there in this world. We give back that gift. We ask all creation, because they are with us right now. We ask all creation to stand and send their energy to them too. We kindly ask that their minds can be wakened so that they can be remembered as being of greater purpose, of not to kill and not to destroy, but to create a healthier environment for all mankind. We pray for those that are in leadership, that are guiding us with other thoughts of money. When we all work together, we can survive. We can rise up. We can raise everyone up by working together. And so this time of April, the frogs have started to sing. And it is a good reminder that we have them to singing for us. They are singing and they will start to sing. And so I ask that at this time I turn it over to my sister, Gail, because she's right in that environment. She's listening and she's outside there. She's doing the outside work. I'm doing the inside work. So I turned it over to her.
Oh, well, thank you. I listen to you and you're so amazing at getting to that really deep heart of what this is all about. When I think of that male energy, I think of uh the sun, and I think of how powerful the sun and the moon and how they have that relationship together, and how they they share the day and they share the night. And just like our women, our men, we need to have that ability to be able to connect to something that is tangible. And so we have the sun for our beautiful grandmothers, and we have we have the moon for our beautiful grandmothers, and we have the sun for, that male energy. And I think of some of the really powerful ceremonies that we have done over time to honor the men and to really think about our sons and our families, and kind of like the community at large. And, you know, we've all been misplaced over centuries. We've all been misplaced, and it's time now that we understand that female and that male energy, that yin and that yang. It's time now that we know that we are composed of both. We are complete with both male energy and female energy. And there are many times that we call upon these different energies to complete our life. And as I listen, and as I put myself into that place of honoring our men, I just go right back to that creation, right back to that place where it's up to, a specific moment where it is decided whether you're male or female. There's that beautiful, I guess you could call it that beautiful bringing together. And there's just this moment that happens that decides whether you come into this world male or female. Or, these days, we still have that opportunity to connect really deeply to some roots. And these roots are alive and well in all of our animal species and our plant species. We have our plant species, and they also have, their own way of, I would call it, reproduction, just like male, female, just like um, our animals, just like our birds, just like our whole life stream. And and when we get to the really heart of being in that energy of forgiveness and love, it has no gender. It has no male and no female. It has this balance. And so that's what we're looking for, is we're looking to find that balance that was, that balance that can be, and that balance that comes from strong relationships, both female and male. That strong relationship when you can be happy in your skin. That strong relationship when you can honor your roles, your your life path, and you can do it in such a beautiful way that your light just becomes stronger and stronger and stronger as you move through. And what's happened over time is not our fault. And I can remember that there was a time when we were taught by these beautiful Japanese healers about when the shift happened. And they told us that the shift happened about 1969, when the female, the energy of the moon, and the darkness shifted to the day. And during this time, we have the beautiful energy of the sun now as this powerful healing modality. And so, in my way of thinking, that's kind of like bringing that man back to um, his place again, bringing that woman back to her place, that place of balance, because we all know, and so today, it was so powerful to be at Longhouse ceremony, and as I was there and I was feeling the energy of our I guess, well, we call them Haduis, just feeling the energy of that what it is to know your role, what it is to dance for your people, what it is to dance for whoever needs that energy, that healing, and that love, and just to be in that energy where there is such a deep connection to something that you don't even understand fully, and maybe we'll never understand, the those connections fully, but we're a part of them. And so when we look forward to how is it going to be when we're all in balance again, we think of what it was like maybe 1,000 years ago. What was it like 2,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago? There's always been times when we've been not in balance, and it's just part of life. It's just part of going in and out of balance, because we're always we're always living this test, and this test is about growing. It's about moving forward. It's about understanding that change is all there is. And as we move forward in this energy of love towards our masculine aspect of ourselves, and our masculine aspects of our families and in our communities, it's with us a strong learning to find out what is love. What is that real love? What does that really feel like? When you're a mother and you you have sons, wow, and you have daughters and you have life, you know what that real love is. It's something that is beyond words. It is something that is so powerful and so great that you just want to, like, you're so happy you just share it, and you just share it, and you just share it. And so then it's up to us then to nurture that goodness. And and in our society, that has not always been the way. And because we have kind of, like, I guess, um, been looking for the answer to to our balance again, we now look forward to just embracing those men, and just embracing them the male relationships and those duties and responsibilities that go with being a man and being a woman, being a child and being a grandmother and being a grandfather, and just being part of, I would call it, some people call it the sacred we, some people call it many things, but it's just part of this understanding about what that heart is saying and what that heart is beating, that pure love, that pure energy that moves us through every day. So every day, we have the opportunity to shed what we don't need and to move forward. And as we shed, we find ourselves being able to love, being able to hug, being able to give love, being able to receive love, being able to uh, see that relationship um, kind of like get more intense in a beautiful way. That heart energy just starting to move, that heart energy just starting to flow. So during some of our powerful ceremonies that we've had with our men, they feel it so strongly when the women acknowledge them for who they are, for understanding that it's been hard to be a man. It's been hard to be a woman. It's been hard. Our struggles are real. Life can be hard. But what we're trying to do And is just simply to say, you know what? It's time to soften that now. It's time to soften. It's time to move. It's time to feel something that is outside of ourselves sometimes. So, Grandma Renee was bringing in that beautiful love and that beautiful energy. And I know that you could feel it because I could feel it. And as she was giving it, she could feel it. And it's impossible not to feel that beautiful connection. And as the prayers go out for our people, the prayers go out for our men, the prayers going out for our sons, the prayers going out for our communities. Wow. Excuse me. It's an honor to be here, at this time, being able to be part of all that is, all that we are going to be, and all that we are, and all that we were. It's been interesting. Some of the discussions that excuse me, some of the discussions that we have had lately on some of these concepts. What is the afterlife? You know, what was it like before we were here? We've had beautiful, brilliant discussions, and there's just so much to think about and so much to consider. And I think the most beautiful part is we have the beauty to create. And because we came from creation and we have the beauty to create, that means that we can create the future, and we can create something that is really, 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 I guess, balanced. So I'm going to turn it back to Grandma Renee only because my throat is acting up on me for a quick second here. Mm.
Thank you, Gail. That was a good reminder. And at this time, I want to thank those men that came to encourage us women in our community, us Indigenous women, because for the longest time we give up our power. But there was a young man. At the time we were called the Iroquois women, and there was a young man, and many of you may know of him. It's Kevin Deere, and he shared a message, and he had come across these men that came to our communities, the territories of our people, to help restore their spirit. And it was amazing because he asked us women, would we welcome them into our community? And it was the most powerful time. And because they had even went to our longhouse in Akwesasne, they also were able to, we understood that they were very enlightened beings, spiritual men. And that was the greatest gift. They were humble. And that was amazing. They said they came from the land of the sun. That was their flag. And they said they came to help the moon, the grandmother moon people. And that is us. And so they came because they said our spirit was dwindling. And they said they come to start that fire. And that is the role of the men. They are like the fire keepers. They are to keep that love within their families, to keep that love flowing within their family, to keep that love within that community. That good, unconditional love, forgiveness, and kindness, the one Grandmother Gail had talked about. And so we invited them in. And they give us the greatest gift of all was to use what I had shared with you, to use these hands, to use these hands to do energy healing. They worked on us first, just like I asked when we started to work on yourself first. And then they worked on us, and then they trained us to, they came and they showed us how to help our people. And many people at first were kind of very hesitant about coming, but eventually they did come. And we offered it every month for a whole day. They would come and they would share this gift for our people to heal. And because of that, there was some great changes that were happening in our community. A lot of that grief that they were carrying. And so I thank them, those men at this time. And so I would like us in return is to thank someone. Maybe you can do it on
Mhm.
Facebook. Maybe you can say thank you to all those that have come to know their spiritual essence of who they are. We have many that have made great changes in our life. Some of them have become our helpers, and some of them have become like our brothers. And that is one I have. I have a ceremonial brother. And because of that, he has, I had the most wonderful experience was to guide him into to know what it was because he had never had a sister, and I was given that opportunity to be his sister. And in that sense, he we came together as brothers and sisters, and we relied on each other when there was um, understanding or just sharing. And so the most beautiful thing was he wanted to know his role. He wanted to know his role in the community. And I said, the first role you need is to learn how to make fire. And that was amazing because when he started the fire, he went to get the lighter and he got some newspaper. And I said, no, you have to do it in that way. And so it was amazing how much he has grown. He later became very important for our ceremonies. He helped the grandmothers to, he came and because he was a novice, he had always learned the Western way, but he had that calling to do something a lot stronger. And that was what he did. He came to learn how to be that fire, to be that protector. And so what he did was he came forward to be, he is also a single father, single parent, helping out, um, raising his children too. So he has come a long ways. And I know many of you in your community, you have seen them. You have come to know them that they are doing their duty in their roles and their responsibility. And to all of those that are out there that are listening, I hope there are some men tonight because this is the greatest opportunity for us to say Nyawa, to say Miigwech, for you making a great change in your life, to know your purpose in life. And so I am honored to speak as a grandmother to my grandsons, my great grandsons, and to my future children. And so I say thank you. And I'm going to give it back to Gail.
Yes. Yeah, such power in those words because we are so thankful that we have the opportunity to be in this time and to also to be in these teachings because these teachings have been lost for generations and generations. We forget that simplicity is the answer to most of our problems. And as a as a I guess someone who has uh, went through many experiences, and we've all experienced these powerful learning curves, and I feel really happy to be alive at this time because during this time I can feel that energy, and I don't like saying I was just expressing kind of like this overwhelming sense of something great, something big, something powerful that is surging. So I'm going to turn that I to we, because I know Grandma Renee feels that resurgence as well, and so that's why we're able now to pray for, like has been done tonight. We haven't always been able to do this, and I guess as a Haudenosaunee uh, person, there is like structure that has been in place for like we don't even know how long, but for a long time, and part of the structure came from times like this, times when we have been needing and yearning for something that seemed impossible. And and then it was possible because it was manifested in these beautiful, coming of, we some people call it the peacemaker, but we it was, basically it was a new way of understanding life. And and because we had this, understanding of life, happen upon us, we we have a basis for, looking forward into the future. And it's so beautiful to be able to share this and to be able to be part of, I guess this, I call it a great beginning, because it feels like something old has um, is starting to evaporate and something new is coming. And and it's that balance that now we're that is just within our reach now, with both the men and both the women, and Grandma Moon and our father, the son. And all of those stories that we have heard over time, to me, they manifest, and they just seem to make sense, sometimes more than our life makes sense. They seem to make sense in a way that helps us to find that loving, caring, compassionate moment that comes from being able to shut away all of those layers of grief and pain and hurt and all of those things that we don't need anymore. So, um, as we think about that, in our minds, it's kind of like we can feel that. So it's kind of like, as we move and we shed, it's just like that smudge. It's just like that energy that we all have within. We can use our own energy and we can just move it through, and we can shed, and we can break in between those layers, and we can just like pull them now and pull them. It's kind of like you have like these strings attached, and you can just take those strings and you can just like pull those strings away. So for those who feel that they can benefit from letting go of some of those things, I want to share just a little story. So this little story has to do with, exactly that, that shedding. And that shedding, although sometimes, I talked about simplicity, our minds make things way too complicated. So um so our story begins kind of with, first of all, what is there to shed? Well, from as we move forward through our daily life, every day we have a decision to make, and that decision can be, um a or B. Sometimes it's A and sometimes it's B and sometimes it should have been B instead of A, but all of these things build up over time. And um so I just remember an experience where it was like, I was a robot, and all of a sudden I was being pulled, and I was being fixed, and I was being, it seemed like I was being calibrated, and I was going, okay, who is doing this, and what's going on. But it made me understand, I guess, the feeling of, um, having the ability to balance. So after that experience, that there was something that changed, within, and it was simply because I had found something that helped me to let go, and to help me realize that, hey, you're like a computer, and because you're a computer, you have a trash, little thing on your computer, and all you got to simply do is not let that trash get overfull. You can just keep, pushing that button, and you'll find the way to, clean up your body, clean up your system. And 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 so I guess that was the you know that's what happened. It was like I realized it's like being a computer, and you're able to like push that trash button and clear your body, clear your mind, clear everything. And where does it go? It's just gone. So don't worry about that, because that's kind of like over analyzing. So and the other beautiful thing about um, tonight's session is being able to understand that, we we need each other. We need you. You need us. and it's all about um, finding, I guess, something to relate to. Um, we need to have a focus, but we also need something to relate to. We need something that is going to help us to understand, help us to see, help us to feel something that is beyond. And so it's kind of like we have to build excitement in it for ourselves, because it's not happening when we don't think about it. Our everyday life can be just dull and boring unless we infuse it with excitement, and we have to be the ones to do that. It's not like we just have to keep going through our day and all of a sudden somebody throws us excitement. It's like we have to create it. We have to understand that. We have to know that something is within our reach, that we can create something that we can be. And so to all of the men that feel that there is something more to life, there is. And it doesn't have to be um, anything more than something simple. Simple as like walking through the woods. Simple as like sitting by the river. Simple as looking up at that night sky and feeling that beauty of Grandma Moon, your grandmother, man or woman, your grandmother. She's there and she's sending loving, beautiful energy your way. And all you have to do is be there and acknowledge, thank you, grandmother. Thank you for all that you do for us on a daily basis. Thank you. Thank you, son. Thank you for all that you do for us on a daily basis. Thank you for the two of you joining sometimes, um, joining forces and creating, this something that really helps us on a day to day basis. So that's simplicity, and that's the beauty of our life right now. We have everything we need. And because of that, it's important that we share that and we extend that out to you and to your family and to all of those that need to hear you are what you need to be, and you can create what else you need to be if that be so. So I think it's just about time to end tonight, but I'll let Grandma Renee finish with her words of wisdom, because we have such a powerful grandmother in our grandmother Renee, and she just has that beautiful way of making things end on just that perfect note.
Thank you, Gail. We do it together. We do it together. So we're going to talk about we. I know a lot of women. This is a big change for you, and we have to. One of the things is remember that many of those men that have harmed us and abused us is because they weren't given a gift of nurturing. And so I'd like to put in your heart right now is I care. I care, I care, I care. And when you do that, it it kind of, like I said, visualize that it healing all those wounds that we have been touched by, because you see that is a great opportunity of making a great change in this world. And April is this time. We are planting seeds. We are planting seeds for our future. And tonight we did this in ceremony. We had all of you come together. We planted the seed because the frog has told us. He sang a song for us. The robin has made its appearance to remind us to restore the fire of each of us, not to pull each other down, but to restore each other. And so in a sense, we put our fire back to all those that are need, that their fire has gone very low. And so we're going to give them some of ours. And so I want you to put your hand together like this, like a cup. And then I want you to, because you got love coming from you, because you receive love at this time, is we're going to blow it and send it out to all creation. And so we say, Nyawa, Miigwech, thank you for joining us tonight. And I look forward to having another ceremony with you again. So
Yes,
take care, and
yes,
we will see you soon.
yes.
Mama P.
Yamagoa.
Good night, everyone.
Yes, good night.